yeah. So, welcome to another beautiful morning here at the River House. And in terms of time eclipsed since the last River House video, it's actually been quite a bit. Those videos are fairly old. Ooh. Smooth. Those videos were quite old, and much has happened in the intervening span. As you can see, we've moved a lot of rock. There's still one full pull off of that upper hill there. This and this are the remains of the last pull, and where the machine is sitting now, I am pulling that rock and throwing it farther to make a big enough hole to put this into it. And then we got all that pile behind the tree. It's been some great little discoveries. This area here is much bigger than I thought it was going to be. We did not realize that there was going to be such a dip in between those two rock ledges. So we're getting that knocked down. This here, this is bedrock. You can see the teeth are scraping on it. I can go deeper into that. I just didn't bother because I knew I was going to need to get the machine up in there anyways in order to get the remainder of this down in here, then over there, then over there. Yeah, it's taken a while. And lots of folks have pointed out that I could do this faster, but my time isn't worth that much. And I don't believe we're being very hard on the piece of equipment. Our wonderful link belt there seems to be just chooching along just fine. I don't push it hard. I don't, you know, I scraped and pulled a bit of this rock shelf up. I think if it comes down to breaking a bunch of rock, I'll probably rent or buy a second-hand jackhammer and see if I can do it that way. You know, there's no need to break it. In terms of hours on the machine, I'm, I don't know, 10, 12 hours past the last video. I no longer worry about whether or not I know what I'm doing. I'm fine. I'm not a lifelong excavator operator, but it's fine. The machine does appear to be working a treat. Thinking I might need to tighten the track here pretty soon. You know, our bucket slop remains a problem, but I keep it greased. Today I hope to pull this cover, tap those holes, and replace that inner zert fitting in an attempt to get grease into it. And that, I'm hoping, if I figured it out right, that'll grease the pivot on the jaw, the thumb. This side over here, whenever this pin was put in last, they peened it over so hard, just beating the hell out of it, that the zert fitting is actually trapped inside there. You can actually see, there's the tip of it right there. So, originally my plan was to get a Dremel out and just spend some time slowly grinding it away, and now all of a sudden I just realized I could just get a pin greaser and pin grease it. One of those. Also, before I start today, I've got some hoses rubbing back at the top of the arm, and my goal is to get a little armor plating on that. But, yeah, you can't beat this weather. No doubt, elderly iron is right, and with the kind of dust I've been working with, I should have had a mask on, and I will in the future. It was right. I needed to be called out on that one, especially with a little boy in my life. But I'm also hoping that this low-level sprinkle will kind of level everything out. So the machine is actually sitting about 15 feet farther back than it was sitting on that last video. Oh, that's why I couldn't get anything out of the hole. Look at that big old monster down there. I was just sliding right up the top of it. So yeah, I don't want to lose my road here, so I'm about as far as I can. So my goal is to just keep working along and throwing that down there. And start building that curve. So it'll need to widen out here in a bit. Then I'll run the machine up over there and throw that in here. I'm trying to keep this edge relatively tidy. You know, I don't want to be big pock marks and nastiness and whatnot when it's all said and done. But I figure if I have to, I can go down there. The machine is essentially trapped up here for the moment, though it wouldn't take... we could probably drive it down over there if we wanted to go for a little bit of a Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. We could drive it on the far side of the building site, but it's essentially trapped up here for the moment. On the other hand, I'm definitely getting close down in there, but I think I can come up afterwards, and I'd like to smooth the edge of this pile. And in my head, I've got, you know, square rocks sort of stacked along the bank to make it party. Yeah, this is still a cool find. I mean, heck, there's driveway room on the back side of that tree. So, more room up here than we thought. So let's get on this thing and move some dirt. Whew. Well, we're a few hours in, and a lot of progress. You know, on the scope of how much time would I save with renting a big cat or finding somebody who'd let me beat their dump truck to death out here in these rocks, which that one's probably a hard one. You know, I'm only in it 4 hours. Oh, 4.5 so far today. We've extended the platform another 30 feet. We've pulled all this rock down, and I've almost got a hole opened up here to throw that rock into. And that's the next step, is all that goes down into here, so there, and then over there, and so on and so forth. I got the slope all messed up again, but I'll grade that at the last. This is the last place I was sitting. As I moved down, I dug and threw and tossed. I do appreciate some of the advice about, you know, using some momentum to swing and throw it out there. I'm in the process of making the corner, right? So this is gonna flatten out there and come across. The bears have been digging in my pile there. I got to watch Mama and her cubs wander up the ridgeline. But this is starting on the actual corner. I'm no longer worried I'm not gonna have enough rock. I'm gonna have plenty of rock. I mean, where the machine is sitting is still a few feet high as far as the actual slope goes. So I'm going to have plenty of rock. It's going to be a little irritating getting it all graded properly, but I suppose that's just one more skill to figure out. And additionally, I got a big old mess of rock out in there that if I have to, I can drag out. In fact, I kind of thought that I would just build myself a landing down into these bushes, start grabbing that and putting it over here. So now I got to go reinstack my burn pile because of Yogi and friends. That'll be nice. And then, you know, I've got this whole mess of crap up there. Probably 2/3 more of what I've moved today. So I'll put that down into here and change the slope pattern. You know, we're looking at places where will we put things. And as this is sort of, since this flushed out so far back, You know, this might be a spot to work in a, you know, a welding shop or something, if the funds for such luxuries ever come available. And again, that was another spot that I thought could have had a building in it, and still could, easily still could have a building put into it right there. Like I said, making plans and following them, that's for suckers and people who want to get things done and save money. And it's not for eccentric geniuses like myself, right? Yeah, she's running good. No faults. I mean, we're still dribbling a little bit of stuff, but actually that looks like quite a bit right there. I wonder what that is. Mostly water, I think. Oh, well, we're still dribbling some stuff, but so what? She need not be perfect to be pretty dang useful, and it is already pretty dang useful. See, I'm doing it in terms of the cost of renting one. So I got, we'll call it 21. Call it, yeah, 20, let's call it 22, including fuel, so far. So what I got invested in this thing. And I've gotten $4,000 worth of work out of it, and we're gonna have this done. I mean, it was a good investment, I think. Seems like a nice machine. Later on, I'll have to hit up the guys that run them for some advice on lubrication schedules and stuff like that. I got a shop manual for it, but it doesn't have that in it. So I'm just going on the whole idea of lots of grease, lots of times. I'm freezing, but I'm in it for the long haul, and I figure I got another 4 hours in me today, which will put, well, I mean, pretty soon I'll bring the machine up. This is getting kind of a mess. I'll bring the machine up and we'll clean and stuff all of this over there, and then we'll somehow, I'll have to start getting that down without burying my own tracks. Whatever, I'll get it figured out. It is a beautiful soggy day at the river house. Go ahead. I made a fun noise. Well, it's late and we're done for the night. Shay, brought out by his mom, was my big helper, got to ride in the machine just like I did when I was his age. It's a bit of a mess right now, but you'll see I pulled at least most of it down, moved it, and I got it thrown down over there, and I got about half of this pile on this side of the tree pulled and thrown over there. It was quite clear sighting it that the road bed was too high, so I was just pulling it up a little bit. I think we're still going to be fine on the quantity of material. I'm just stacking it right there. Ooh, I can hear. Oh, the key got left on. That is one problem. No, I need two hands. There's one problem with shutting it off manually. Need to put a light or something on it. Yeah, but anyways, that's all done, and this just needs to get pushed that way. I can tell the whole deck is too high, but whatever. I'll get her eventually. So, yeah, like I said at the beginning, we're many hours past the last video you saw, and the project is almost done. It's within striking distance, although each time around it gets slower to pull and move everything. I think getting it done in 20 hours is probably it's probably optimistic, but having it done in 30, that's very likely. Having it done and looking nice in 30. So, from all of us out here to all of you, thanks for watching.